All right, coming to you from Precipice Mountain. This is the first time I've ever been here. This is in Nazareth, and you can see back here the modern city of Nazareth, but it was a little bitty town. We're zooming in on the Church of the Annunciation where the angel spoke to Mary. Mary's house is right next to Joseph's house. Again, a very small village, so they would have known each other growing up. And the synagogue where Jesus stands up and reads the prophecy from Isaiah 61, I'm about to share that with you. That's there. Before we get into that, there's that round top over there. That's Mount Tabor. That's where the story in Judges 5 takes place. This is Deborah and Barak, and when Jael drives a tent peg through the guy's head. Again, one of my favorite stories. And from Nazareth, you can see all the way to Megiddo. You're looking into the valley of Armageddon. So every morning when Jesus got up, he could have looked into the valley of Armageddon. So Jesus is over there at a synagogue. And again, they've asked the question, can anything good come out of Nazareth? It's his time to read. Everybody had different times to read in the synagogue. And Jesus gets his turn, and he opens the scroll to this text, Isaiah 61. The Spirit of the Sovereign Lord is on me, because the Lord has anointed me to preach good news to the poor. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim freedom for the captives, and release from darkness from the prisoners, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor, and the day of vengeance of our God, to comfort all who mourn, and provide for those who grieve in Zion, to bestow on them a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of gladness instead of mourning, and a garment of praise instead of a spirit of despair. They will be called oaks of righteousness, a planting of the Lord for the display of his splendor. Jesus rolls up the scroll, sits down. Well, let's just say it started a firestorm, because Jesus says, today, this passage is fulfilled in your hearing. Jesus said, so everything Isaiah was talking about, I'm the fulfillment. He's standing right over there. They're not real pleased about that. And that for him to claim to be God, and if you're not God, what's the punishment? Death. Very simple. And so they bring him here, the Mount of Precipice, and they're going to throw him off. They drag him from the synagogue up here on this mountain, and they're going to chuck him down into the valley. That's a theological term. They're going to chuck him down there into the valley, and that's the end of Jesus, and that's the end of the story. And this is one of the great stories in Scripture. It doesn't tell us how, what, where. It just says Jesus walked through their midst and left. So they drag him all the way up here. He lets them drag him all the way up here, and then he just walks through the middle of them and leaves. That's what this hill is all about. So a lot of history has taken place right here. Again, Jesus claims to be the Messiah, and then by letting them bring him up, what does he do? He demonstrates it. They had to go home that day saying, can anybody tell me what happened here? We were ready to throw the guy off, and the amazing thing is they still don't believe. Now you'd think that if you went to school with Jesus, and yeah, I noticed that guy always got A's and everything, but anyway, you'd think they would have figured it out. But anyway, if they bring him up here, this is where that whole story plays out. They were going to throw him into the valley of Armageddon. That's all I got.